So I just did my skincare. That's why there's stuff on my face. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to come on here just to talk about some of the things that basically I went through post, basically still going through after I've went through my Hyperemesis Gravidarum pregnancy. A lot of the things that I'm dealing with and that I've began to notice are things that, quite like to my surprise, are common with a lot of women that I've researched who've also struggled from Hyperemesis Gravidarum like me. So I'm going to be going on, I think it will be 6 months. Yeah, 6 months to date, the 26th postpartum. And last year this time I was struggling immensely with my Hyperemesis Gravidarum. So I'm going to be going on, I think it will be 6 months. Yeah, 6 months to date, the 26th postpartum. And last year this time I was struggling immensely with my Hyperemesis Gravidarum. This time last year was actually when I went from 120 pounds to 88 pounds quite rapidly. Like, today marks the day when I was in my bed struggling, couldn't eat, couldn't get up, basically just in the worst shape of my life and fighting for my life. I released a video, I want to say 3 months ago, detailing my whole entire Hyperemesis journey. I'm not sure how many people that got out to, but I hope it helps somebody. It's on my channel, and I just detailed how I didn't go too much into it, which is why I want to make this video of basically what I've been dealing with. So I got diagnosed with Hyperemesis Gravidarum week 5, and that was when it got absolutely the worst for me. That was when I was losing weight rapidly. That's when I couldn't eat or drink or keep anything down, couldn't keep down water. It was so detrimental. It was just so detrimental for everyone around me, everyone around you being scared, not knowing what's going on. I can't tell you guys how many people around me were genuinely just scared for my life, didn't know if I was going to make it. Strangers who I didn't even know would ask me, oh, is this something to do with like bulimia and anorexia? Other people would be like, is this some sort of like, is it morning sickness? You know, downplay it to the point where, oh, it might be just morning sickness. If somebody around you is dealing with Hyperemesis Gravidarum and happens to be going through it, please, please believe them and don't downplay this, because it is so, it is such, it's, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's a very harrowing thing to go through. Extremely lonely, extremely painful, extremely isolating. That's the word. It's extremely isolating to go through. At the same time being so rewarding, because of course it's so worth it after you get you know, to hold your baby. I just remember wanting to make it to that point. Me and my husband were so scared. We didn't even think that I was going to be able to see my son's face. We just wanted to make it to that point where we could hold him, you know, bring him home and be able to just love on him. And it truly is a gift and a miracle from Jesus that he is standing here today. Well, he doesn't stand, he's crawling, but it's just a miracle that we were able to make it this far, because I didn't think that my body was going to make it. It is insane what our bodies can go through what our bodies are able to overcome in order to bring life into this world. I tell every single mother that I meet that this is nothing short of a miracle. Childbirth is. To be able to bring life into this world. Some people deal with more things than others. It is nothing short of a miracle. Nothing short of a miracle from God. So one of the first things that happened to me after I gave birth to my son that I noticed was food aversions. Food aversions I had through pregnancy, which was such a long list of foods that I couldn't eat aside from water and or lemon. Coffee, certain foods still trigger my nausea, certain drinks still trigger my nausea, just a lot of foods altogether that have never returned to me in the way that I thought that they would. So sorry, my husband came in. What?
Today was fun.
Yes, she said it was so cute. One of the sorry, one of the things that getting back on topic, that getting back to food aversions, what I was talking about was a lot of foods I could not eat have still not come back to me. I still have fear about certain foods. I remember in particular Mexican food. Mexican food was one thing that I was like, just anything spicy I could not do, which was really weird because before pregnancy I was a spice fiend. I would put hot sauce on everything, and then during pregnancy I just immediately quit spicy foods. I remember at one point I just lived on literally bone broth and chicken noodle soup. That was it, and even that would come up, but I would just so desperately want to eat and try to keep things down that at any cost, even at one point, just oh gosh, just taking whatever I could take, even if that meant that it would come back up. I remember the doctor telling me, because I had a doctor and a doula, I remember both of them telling me, whatever you can keep down, whatever you can eat it and do it. It doesn't matter what it is. Apart from food aversions, I also still deal with today fear of having to binge food, if that makes sense. Fear of still vomiting my food up. So at some points I would just take in as much food as I can and I overeat. I think that's what it is, overeating and binging foods, because my body goes into starvation mode and goes back to when I was in the emergency last year and just everything that I had to deal with. So my body almost says, oh, we have to eat because it's going to happen again. Like, we're not going to be able to eat again. So sometimes I just eat whatever I can and as much as I want, and I don't really have a limit on it. I just eat, and sometimes I don't know when to stop because I remember not being able to eat anything. And that's just so devastating. I know it sounds so devastating, but these are just things that I've noticed that have not gone back to normal. The third thing, PTSD so much over being back in the hospital room and being in the emergency, so weak, not even able to stand, and just my bones hurt. I remember it hurt to walk. I've never been 88 pounds ever in my life. So that was another thing that never returned back to normal. Sometimes I still get nightmares of waking up in the emergency room, and everything that I got through last year, I'm still getting dreams about it. And it's so crazy because I'll be sitting there holding my baby boy, and then all of a sudden I'll just well up in tears because of everything that happened last year, and out of fear out of it. Sometimes I wake up in night sweats and cold sweats because I can't sleep, because I wake up and I'm back in that hospital room in there getting IVs, back inside of just being utterly just survival mode. Another thing that I would say has not turned back to normal for me is sometimes I wake up in these chronic states of pain. I can almost like relate it to body aches and sores when you're sick, when you have the flu, except it's not the flu. And I'll wake up and my body feels like literally all the energy has been zapped from my body. And sometimes when I'm holding my son, I feel like I'm about to faint and I need to sit down very quickly. I can't even make it downstairs. This just happens randomly. I have been able to get in touch with my doula and my doctor. Both of them said that these, some women's bodies take more time to heal than others. Basically, it was put into terms for me that however many months that mom went malnourished or not able to eat, that's how much longer it's gonna take to heal. So that's very scary. The fact of just it's going to take like so long just to get back to myself. And before pregnancy, I would go on these 6-mile runs. I would be in shape. I remember just being able to go on a run whenever I wanted, doing my exercises whenever I wanted, and it's just not like that anymore. It's such a huge change to try to get back to yourself. But these are just some of the things that I wanted to share after you go through hyperemesis gravidarum. For anyone dealing with it, these are things that may or may not happen to you. I'm just sharing my journey so that hopefully it helps somebody else out there. Just if you're dealing with this right now, if any mothers right now are watching my video and you're currently dealing with hyperemesis gravidarum, just stay in there, mama, stay strong. You know, it's gonna be so worth it when you hold. But these are just some of the things that I wanted to share after you go through hyperemesis gravidarum. For anyone dealing with it, these are things that may or may not happen to you. I'm just sharing my journey so that hopefully it helps somebody else out there. Just if you're dealing with this right now, if any mothers right now are watching my video and you're